With the rapid changes of technology, libraries may be becoming obsolete. Pressing questions are raised about the purpose that they serve and the necessity of books in the digital age. We asked members of the community to shed some light on this topic.
I think in 50 years, physical books will be a thing of the past. I really think everything will be digital. I just think there's too many things, not that I'm not crazy about that idea necessarily, but I think there's just too many things moving that way will be a thing of the past. I really think everything will be digital. I just think there's too many things, not that I'm not crazy about that idea necessarily, but I think there's just too many things moving that way.
The devices, it won't be that, it'll probably be, I don't know, glasses, or you look at your fingers and something magic will happen.
We started out, with chisels and hammers and scratching into stones, and then we worked it to the writing instruments, charcoal, and then we worked to graphite, went to pens and ink, and now we're to the point where it's all digital. I think libraries will follow the evolution of technology.
I think that libraries are increasingly going to be a center for information, but I think that as a center for information that is mostly digital, and I think that it will also be a community conversation place where all kinds of different conversations can take place. I think libraries are already heading in this direction, and I think the ones that are thriving are realizing this.
I do think that their libraries are moving toward becoming community centers, and I think that's really where the future of libraries is. And they have to be responsive to their communities. You can't just say, oh, here's a good idea, and try, you can try lots of things, but what you need to do is somebody's gotta think about, what does our community need? Whether you ask people or you're just smart enough to figure it out, you try things, but they have to be responsive to the community.
Libraries are increasingly seen as a gathering place more than as a place to be individual and alone and quiet. But I really do think that it's still going to be an important mission to think about the original focus of libraries as a place that gets people from all different walks of life, social and economic situations, to be able to gain information to better their lives and their minds. And I think that needs to remain a central focus of libraries.
Libraries are your modern day campfires. It's where people sit around and discuss ideas. And not always, but I think that's what they're going to have to be in the future.
So although information is free and on the internet, if you don't have access to the right technology, you can't have that. And so libraries in this city are full of people who are going to use libraries for their internet access to access information. And I even see that in the little town where I live in Peacham.
One of the things that's happened is that with the advent of the internet, the libraries become a place where it serves a demographic that doesn't necessarily get the internet on their own. Now it's becoming more important to be connected to the web.
It's going to be a place where they share tools more than anything else. And it's the latest and greatest technology tools. That's what they're going to be sharing with their community. The things that the individual can't afford to go out and buy is what the library is going to be sharing with the community.
There's lots of things that fall under the realm of information or literature, or whatever you want to say libraries are for. And a good library is going to be able to tap into what segment of that is important for their community.
I think that libraries are also carried around with us at all times these days, So we all have a library on us now. If you have a cell phone, you have access to what the library of the future is.
I think the concept of people being able to check out books, I hope that continues, forever. The idea that you don't have to buy every book you want to read is terrific. And I think there's more books being written now than there ever were, ever.
And I think that libraries, as long as they continue to keep thinking and not sort of digging in and saying we're going to stay the same, I think they will remain an absolutely integral part of communities.
The role of libraries is evolving with today's technology. They have become more of a community meeting place than a place to be alone and by yourself. Libraries also provide a vast amount of information that is accessible to everyone. It will be interesting to see how their role continues to evolve.